Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Man Bites Film. This week we are actually going to be doing two movies. One that's streaming on Netflix. The other one is not streaming on Netflix, but it is so worth checking out that I really wanted to recommend it, even though it's not on one of the streaming networks. The first one right off the bat is Around the Block. This is a 2013 film, and I give this about a 7 out of 10. It's directed by Sarah Spinelli? Something like that. And it stars Christina Ricci as a teacher. It basically is Dead Poet Society Australian version. I guess that's what you could say. It basically follows the story of an Aboriginal boy, and he's trying to become an actor. And with the encouragement of Christina Ricci as a teacher, just like in Dead Poet Society, she tries to get him to become an actor. But him, his family and everything, the way that he's perceived, they have to be tough-skinned because he's an Aboriginal. And because the Aboriginals are considered basically like third world, second-class citizens type of thing. It's in Australia, that is, and they're like pretty much held down, and they're like told that they can't do anything. And this film explores that racism that Australia has, that underworld that is not perceived by any of us, and it's not perceived. It was never perceived by me. I didn't know this even existed until I saw this film, and it brought it out in the open for me. And I did some research on it, and it's actually very interesting how Australia has a completely they have like about 3 different divisions in their country, and Aboriginals are one of them. And there's also people that have migrated from Indonesia and stuff like that, and they're considered, it's like Mexicans here. They're considered like, oh, they're just workers. They can't do anything else, which is insane. Because a lot of the poets and stuff like that come from these two, less privileged Australian groups. And it's very interesting seeing that in this film and showing that racism, straight up racism in the film. And basically this kid's trying to become an actor. He loves acting. He wants to be an actor in this play that Christina Ricci's doing, and it has a lot of Shakespearean aspects to it, and even the story itself is very Shakespearean. This boy is a very troubled youth. He's in gangs. He's in with the gangs and stuff like that, and his brother is a main part of that. There's some type of family feud or something like that going on, and the story revolves around that interfering with this boy trying to become an actor. And it is so well acted by all players on this. I give this a 7 out of 10 because it's not an original idea. It's very much a played out idea, but the way that it's portrayed in this film, it's actually really nicely done. It makes you feel for the characters, and it makes you want to know more about what happens in Australia, which is very interesting. So it opens that door, which I think is very important in film. Film should either, one of two things definitely should be done. It should either entertain you, or it should have you talking about the film. Okay? And this definitely makes you talk about a film, about this particular film. So please check this out. This one's streaming on Netflix, so it's an easy catch, easy watch, hour and 45 minutes, and it's called Around the Block. 2013 film, again starring Christina Ricci. I hope you guys can check that one out. Alright, going straight into the next one. This is one of my favorite films, and I recently saw it, and I love it. I love Terry Gilliam. I always have loved his work. From the moment I saw 12 Monkeys to the moment I got introduced to Monty Python, I have an obsession with Terry Gilliam and his work as a whole. I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who. I'm a huge fan of Hitchhiker's Guide. And both of those were heavily influenced by Terry Gilliam and the Monty Python type of humor. So I think that this film is just, it plays on that a lot. It's called The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Yes, the title sounds all crazy and intricate and this and that and the other. it is an awesome film. Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Okay? It is a great film. I give this a 9 out of 10. This is a 2009 film. Now, here's the twist. This was the last film by Heath Ledger. And Heath Ledger didn't complete the film, which is the most intriguing part. Terry Gilliam has a bad streak of bad luck with his films. Okay? The sets burn down, things have fallen apart, financing falls apart, whatever the case is. A lot of different just crap on this guy. And he always like pushes through and ends up making his film even though it's not the way that he wanted. Well, this was no exception. So this film stars Christopher Plummer, Andrew Garfield, and Heath Ledger. Now, when Heath Ledger died, he left the film half complete. It was not. So obviously, production stopped, grinded to a halt, right? And Terry Gilliam was freaking out, so he had to rewrite the script, right? He rewrote the script in such a way that he would be able to incorporate 3 A-list actors for the remaining parts of Heath Ledger. Those 3 actors are Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell. Okay, this film revolves around the story of good and evil. It goes right down to the basics of filmmaking, good and evil. That's it. With an elaborate setup. This setup is amazing. I loved it. It has a magical twist to it. It has a fantastical twist to it. It just has an amazingly entertaining plot that is more intriguing the more you fall into the rabbit hole, and it just takes you deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So, let me give you a quick introduction to the film, and then I'll let you guys go so you could actually watch this film, because I really want you guys to. This revolves around a monk, or a cleric, something along those lines, a spiritual figure, if you may, and he is approached by a demon, a devil, whatever the case may be, and he tells him, "This is all a lie. I challenge you to prove me wrong." And he decides to go out into the world and challenge him by showing him how pure people's souls are, that they can't be tainted by greed, by envy, by distrust, by all the things that are personified by evil, the devil, everything. So he comes up with something that you walk into, and it brings you into this fantasy world that is the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Alright? And you choose between good or evil. And the game has the highest stakes possible and keeps on growing throughout the film. And every aspect of humanity is what do you call it, reviewed by this film. It is one of the most intriguing things I've ever seen, and if this is not a conversation stimulator, then I don't know what is. You watch this film, you want to discuss it right after. It is amazing, and I really hope you guys will be intrigued enough to check out this film either on Amazon or get a Fire Stick and be able to watch this, or find it online. Do something to watch this film, because it is fantastic. So again, the 2 films that I reviewed today, Around the Block, this is a 2013 film starring Christina Ricci, give it a 7 out of 10. And then The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, directed by Terry Gilliam, starring Andrew Garfield, Heath Ledger, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, Colin Farrell, and I give this a 9 out of 10. This is a fantastic film. Please check these 2 out. Do not miss out on Imaginarium. That is definitely worth your time. So again, I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Man Bites Film, and